Hello, one and all. We are taking a quick detour to Bluegrass International Raceway, where it is the Skull Bandit Truck Series action will take place under the ownership of Robbie Gilman's 150 Racing. It is a Bluegrass is a 2.275-mile road course within the fictional lands of Winchester, Kentucky. Now, as the drivers continue to qualify, and I think it's actually wrapping up right around now, take a quick look at the point settings at the end. Light currently your points leader, only 16 above Dakota Vega, but there's a large gap between second and third place of much of 40 points. Now, it may seem like not that much, but I need to also read out the point system they have here, which I was going to include, but I ran out of time. So, the point system is an F1 style system with extra stuff. Top 6 finishers will earn the points. First place gain 10, second place gain 9, third place gain 8, fourth place gain 6 points, fifth place gain 4, and 6 gain 2. So only 6 cars for the time being, but there are more to this as bonus points are also available. 2 points available at the halfway for only the race leader, 1 point for winning pole award, and 1 point for the slowest race lap within 107% of the fastest lap. Pretty strange. And the final point can also be obtained for finishing the race. So even if you didn't finish within the top 6, you still get some credibility. And also, unlike most series, this league does feature double points races, and this race at Bluegrass Raceway is certainly one of them. So I believe it is, let me do math, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16. 16 maximum points are available on a normal weekend, but because this is a double points race, that maximum goes up to 32. And this also serves as the final double points event of the season, so with it being a road course, Landon Line can either gain a lot or lose a lot, because Dakota Vega is theoretically only one within half a race, and at least at the points given out for this race. I don't know if RJ is here or even Carl Childress, but they can also make up quite a bit of points if they were to run. So enough about that. We can switch back to NR and actually take a look at the qualifying order now that it's finished. So on pole is Jack Merkel, and with the 1:23.519 pre-blistering lap time, with Dakota Vega joining him on the front row. Row 2 would be made up of Zach Armstrong and Ziggy Moonglow. Row 3 consists of Landon Lyle and Matt McIntyre with pretty abysmal laps. I expected Lyle to be a contender, but I guess he had screwed up in qualifying, and so did Matt McIntyre. And the 7th and final car to roll off the grid will be Dalton Tubbs, as the rest of us, Robbie, McGarry, and myself are not participating. So this is a fictional road course, so many of you may not know the layouts. And once I get this picture, we can actually have someone be our pilot as we go through the lap. So we're on board with pole sitter Jack Merkel, and we're just gonna reset it back here. So right out of the pit lane, it's not a proper lap, but still. You go through turns 1 and 2, it's immediately to start the lap, and it's a tight one at very fast at that one. Then you get into the braking zone for turn 3, hairpin like corner. Really put the hammer down and work your way up the gears through this second straightaway and into turns 4 and 5. It may look fast, but drivers are having to lift off the throttle a bit, so that doesn't exactly make a good passing zone into turn 6 if you set yourself up right. And then turn 7, kink there, then you gotta go down into the braking zone for turn 8. Power it down, and then you got this really tricky section. You got turn 9 right here, and then you got a slow turn 10 here. You can't put too much power down, otherwise you're gonna go off. Turn 11, little kink right there. Then final hairpin of turn 12. And the pit entry is right there. You're gonna make me around the corner. But back to the front stretch to complete the anthem. We'll keep it on board to give you an idea how fast these drivers are going into turns 1 and 2. Got 110 and at the apex and a low point of 85 miles per hour, at least when we're riding on board with Jack Merkel. And as your lap around Bluegrass International Raceway, a very interesting road course. I did drive it before, and that was because there was a special event also hosted by Robbie Gilpin at this place. It was Trans Ams around here, also utilizing CTS physics. It was a 90-minute endurance race, And while not everything went according to plan, I did have fun with it, even though I had to witness Light and Loud dominate again. So, double points on a road course. How do you get the most out of your truck? You just gotta keep it on the road and be open to change up your pitch strategy when it is necessary. I believe it is 42 laps today, which is pretty long, and that might also hinder me, I think. I mean, check actually. It says 42, which, yeah, it is going to take a while because it is, you know, close 125 minute lap times on average. So, because I'm slated to do double duty broadcasting. Not only do I have this race to do, but I've also opened up Talladega for the Budweiser Cup Series that starts within the next hour. But now it is race time. We can switch over to this. And it's going to be a full pace lap, which doesn't help me very much in terms of need to get going in a hurry here. So 42 laps, there is a halfway caution. I didn't get memo driver's meeting, but um outcome. But I believe this league does use the caution EXE, so I'll be able to know when a caution occurs. All 7 trucks are lined up, and I think actually they're doing a standing start, which is pretty interesting because normally you would want to do a rolling start, but seeing how all the trucks are lined up on the grid spaces, I think this is going to actually be a standing start. It is lights out and away we go. Jack Mirko pulls away pretty evenly. Dakota Vega would have to slot in, and Landon Lau already making up the places, already up to 3rd place, and there's a wreck. And there's a reset. Well,
drivers, to your cars.
here's someone did get going, yeah, or oh, Zach lost 1st and 2nd gear. That's just unfortunate. But Robbie is forgiving at very minimum. Should probably do this too. Yeah, Dalton Tubbs gonna have to move up. It's whenever engines are fired, but yeah, everyone is already looks to be in grid slots. Not entirely correct, but they get the job done. And we're gonna try this again. Flagman will appear just off to the left side. It's lights out and away we go. Even start once again. But Jack Barker's gonna have the advantage into turn 1. Once again, Dakota Vega lets off to slip through. You can't really go side by side through the first opening turns. But it's Landon Lau who once again moves up to P3 off the grid. And Zach Armstrong able to get his gears intact. Will be P4, Dalton Tubbs in P5, and I think my game crashed. What a great start. This ain't fun. Yep, my game crashed. Take your time as I'll try to get back in as soon as I can. There is a yellow, which unfortunately I won't have the replay for, but before I switch over, let me dumb down some settings. Alright, should be back now, and you move this over. So caution out on the opening lap. I don't think I can go back far enough to where I can see why, but yeah, I think the car shouldn't have been out, but it's, yeah. So, unfortunately, I won't know why the caution came out, but, uh, just, I'll take care of it again. And that also means the lap carrier is gonna be broken, so I'll have to periodically update you. Currently working lap 2, and pit lane will open this time. So while the opening lap was pretty cool that we get a standing start. That didn't really do anyone much favors. This is honestly the order that I expect. Coming through turns 9 and 10, and onto turn 11, the kink. We may see cars come in probably for new tires, because this is a 2x square race. Probably some in the back will need uh, damage repairs, so we'll just have to see. And not everyone came in. That Vega and Loud opting to stay out. So Mirko gives up the lead after starting from pole and gonna be the first one to his pit box. And everyone's taking 4 tires here, so Jack Mirko wins out pit road, but it's Armstrong coming out second. Dalton Tubbs P3 out along with Moonglow and McIntyre. 2 cars ought to stay out. It is 1 to green, so we will go green this time by. That being Dakota Vega, who started P2, and Landon Loud, who started P5, and made his way up to third, even before turn 1. Got a really great launch off the line. Everyone should catch up in time, and yeah, we're seeing how the next 18 or 17 laps go, because remember, there is a halfway caution at lap 20, at the conclusion at lap 21, that being the halfway point. Dakota Vega will be given control and will lead the field. Just had to adjust something. Pace truck pulls in, and it actually works this time. We had an issue with that when the Trans Am race happened. We are green. We conclude 3 laps. single file into the S curves, which I do not blame them. Armstrong a little bit wide off too. It's very easy to mess up the first sequence of corners. Lane Allowed trying to waste no time getting around to Vega, but unable to get the power down as much as he would like. Jack Merkel has fresh tires, even though it's practically a 1 lap difference, sorry. Lane Allowed is really trying to use up the tires to get around him, the Vega that is. I think what also benefits Merkel and everyone else behind him is that they're gonna be good on fuel, I think, or at least they'll have to take less fuel whenever the pit cycle comes up. I believe it is 15 to 16 laps per fuel tank when it's on 2x, but I could be wrong. But we finally get a green flag lap in. It is still Dakota Vega at the lead, currently working through lap 5. Atlanta gets a run out turn 2, but gonna have to make the lead count around the outside of turn 3. Really using up the rears. They are still side by side. And it is Jack Merkel waiting in the wings. Played out, ultimately having to surrender. Well, he thought about it, but decided against it, but it'll pay out as through turn 6 and 7 Loud. I thought he had it wrong, but I guess he didn't. And McIntyre spinning in the back, nothing new to be honest. And Dakota Vega clips the curb a bit too hard and spins out from the lead. That would give the lead to Lane Allowed, but Jack Merkel is just right behind him, sniffing for the domination. But the truck that also joined the party, Zach Armstrong, as he races back to the caution, claiming P3. It'll be Dalton Tubbs 4th, with Minglo 5th. Vega, after his spin, still comes out ahead McIntyre. So let's look back and see what happened. It did prompt a caution, which gonna write on board with Lane Allowed here. Just you get too much out of the curve from 51 truck and just upset it. But the one thing about these road courses, the track, the curving especially, can givens and takens. Just if you ask too much out of it, you'll pay a high price for it. On board with Merkel. Get the 51 off into the gravel as Merkel can try to look for the lead as caution has been called. Got one more chance to, but ultimately not enough time to get by the 99 despite him washing wide. So second caution of the day, and we're only working through lap 6 now because the lap counter is broken. I feel like with such a small field, if you are good enough, let's say Merkel, Lyle, and even Armstrong was keeping up with them, I say take 4 tires. It's, you won't lose too much of it. You'll be bound to get by them anyway. Get by the slow traffic, I meant to say. Everyone but Dalton Tubbs pitting this time. Getting new tires and probably more fuel, like I mentioned. It is a tight fuel window to get to the halfway caution. 15 to 16 laps, just roughly. And Mirko apparently was AFK and didn't realize he overshot his box, so that allowed to win off pit road with Zach Armstrong coming on behind him P2, Dakota Vega P3, McIntyre. Finally comes Merkel and then Minglow. Going green this lap, it is Dalton Tubbs, the only truck to stay out. Still got lots of laps to go. If I end up being late to Talladega, then, well, it is what it is. I have the stream set up and everything, but I don't know if I'll even be there on time to broadcast. Lap 7 currently into lap 8, going green this time. Dalton Tubbs, your leader, landed out P2, Zach Armstrong P3. We only have one green flag lap so far, which is a bit concerning, even with this amount of laps, but surely they can find a rhythm and go green at least until the halfway caution. Base truck peels in. Dalton Tubbs in control. And we're waiting for the green flag. There it is. Dalton Tubbs speeds off into the first sequence of corners. But Dakota Vega's gonna try to make it side by side, but Zach Armstrong thinks better of it. I have to keep P4. McIntyre a little sideways, and around goes Dalton Tubbs immediately. So his strategy of staying out was all for naught. That allowed to lead Zach Armstrong now in pursuit. Work through 4 and 5. Not close enough to make a move into 6, though he is trying. Really sideways off the corner. Not enough momentum to carry into 7 and then into 8. And caution is indeed out, so another third caution of the night already. Leland nothing to worry about as he enters turn 12. Zach Armstrong not close enough. It is Landon Isle in the 99 who will lead at the raceback. With Dakota Vega 3rd, Merkel 4th, McIntyre 5th, Minglow 6th. See what happened here. It was immediately as Dalton Tubbs went into turns 1 and 2. I asked too much out of the truck, ended up smacking the wall and just hitting the Armco, spinning out. And even Landon Isle was caught off guard with trying to follow the 6th through, but he didn't sustain enough of a bounce to spin off it. So already caution number 3, working on lap 9 out of 42. So this race is definitely gonna take a while. Just had to do stuff. Land allowed Dakota Bay is stay out, the rest up to pit. We haven't had a good chance to look at speeds. We did have one green flag lab, but ultimately I want more out of them in order to know how fast are you really. Because fastest lap chart it is fastest lap does go to Zach Armstrong with a 1:25.6, but we've only had one true green flag lap that isn't because of a restart. So I don't know, it's just we need more data. Going green this lap, it is Landon Lyons staying out to inherit the lead, followed by Dakota Armstrong with the same idea. Zach Armstrong P3, Jack Merkel P4, McIntyre P5, Dalton Thomas P6, and Ziggy Moonglow P7. All 7 trucks still on the track. Try this one more time. Gonna be restart number 4 of the day. As third caution period concludes, Landon Lyons will lead us back to the green flag once more. Everyone's stuck behind the 99 cars. Bumper as everyone goes through single file once more. And 51 has a run. The 99 must have slipped up and gonna look to the inside, not able to get completely side by side with them. Landon Lyons able to defend with a carrying more speed under the braking zone. Much like before, everyone from the 09 on back has only 1 to 2 laps fresher of tire wear. So it's gonna be interesting to see, as despite this, there are gonna be battles amongst themselves, as Jack Perko's gonna try to make a move on Armstrong, doesn't have enough momentum just yet. really big hops through turn 11 and into turn 12. Landon Lamb smoking the rears as like he's been all race so far. Completing lap 11, we got 31 more to go. Dear God. Landon Lamb smacks the wall at turn 2, just unable to turn. It's like deja vu, but the 51 is side by side with the 99. Just ever so close, but they're still side by side. Landon Lamb's gonna have the advantage at the turns 4 and 5 here. It's actually Dakota Vega, but the run on the outside still remains side by side. And it's going to barely clip the 99 to take the lead, but here comes Eric Armstrong with a run on Landon Lamb. Gonna try to clear it for P2, but he wants the lead. A little bit of a slide from Armstrong into Landon Lamb, but all good so far. Merkel has joined the party. And just pretty poor optimization of the racing line through turn 10 for Armstrong, but still able to keep P2 for the time being. Landon Lamb gives him a shot, but unable to turn him. Gonna allow some gap to develop between second and third. Landon Lamb really sideways through turn 2 and clipped the grass on exit. Nearly collects Jack Merkel. And a battle for the lead and battle for P3. And I'm gonna sort it into the braking zone. Merkel trying anything to find an opening, but currently unable to do so. He's been proven to be the fastest truck all weekend so far. He topped practice and won the pole. And now he's slipping back from the 99, so he's probably realizing that he's not gonna get anywhere with this much traffic. He's probably gonna try and save his stuff and make a run for the points at the halfway. Landon out trying to find an opening on the outside. Barely gets shoved into the wall. But contact between the two leaders, but they keep it straight. Landon out with the run on the outside lane. Gonna try to clear Armstrong before turn 1. Armstrong's gonna let him go. Landon Lau up to P2, gonna have to trail down to Dakota Vega. And here comes Jack Merkel for P3. Armstrong just falling apart after nearly colliding with the 51 and turning him around. And just 09 feeling a bit anxious, gonna try to recompile his composure and get back into this fight. A weird lunge into turn 6 is Merkel, but he's going to able to take the momentum and clear Lyle for P2. A lap ago, I thought Merkel was backing off to let them battle themselves, but now he's able to separate the trucks, pick them off one by one, and now he's going for the lead side by side with Dakota Vega. Gonna be braking zone, but Merkel able to clear Vega at the braking zone. Gonna retake the lead as he once was in at the start of the race. Side by side for P3, Armstrong looking on Lyle. Dangerous place to overtake, but he quickly settles the matter. And all the while, the 99 of Landon Lau still hasn't been able to pass Dakota Vega. And this way, Jack Merkel might as well pull away. Now we got the true sense of speed up through these drivers. And lunge into the inside. Dakota Vega gonna clear Merkel for a lead. What a lunge. And Landelow's looking to follow but unable to make the momentum work. And 4 trucks under a blanket. And well, it will be interrupted by a halfway caution at very minimum. But this makes up for the caution fest we've had so far. Landelow dips his tires into the grass at turn 11. It hops turn 11, but it's able to keep the inside lane, trying to fend off Zach Armstrong. Working lap 16. Gonna be 6 laps until the halfway caution. Two points on the line on a normal race weekend, but remember, this is a double points weekend. 4 points can make up a difference, especially with how little points this league gives out. And quickly turn back the other way and quickly look at the battle for P6. Or P5, sorry, that being between Delta Tubbs and Moonglow, but gonna have to focus back at the front as those 2 cars were separated by a good margin. Merkel on the rear bumper of Vega. I may have mixed the exchange for the lead once more. I'm trying to catch that at the halfway, once that halfway caution comes up. Got Merkel looking, gonna try to crossover through turn 11 and gonna get the inside lane through the airpin. Landelow's going to follow him. But Merkel back to the lead. Lau unable to use the momentum to get by the 51. It's like some sort of curse somehow. Well, but the Corvette's gonna get a bad exit off turn 2. Landellow closes up the gap once more. Gonna take a different approach into turn 3 here. Gonna try to use the momentum, but unable to get any closer to Vega. Zach Armstrong still in the wings, but has fallen off the pace quite a bit. Landellow looks to the inside, turn 6. These two will remain side by side. Right on board with Armstrong. And Dakota Vega's gonna let the 99 go. But he's gonna go for a crossover maybe. Not gonna work out to his favor because Landellow has the preferred line into turns 9 and 10. Really get the sense of how light the truck is as you go through turn 11, as Armstrong, despite that, will be able to rope to the inside of Dakota Vega and will grab 3rd place. Top 2 have strung away as the battle for P3 will continue on with Armstrong and Vega. Vega trying to look around the outside as 09 blocks. Able to defend the position. Quick look at the stragglers back here. Mike McIntyre's just not having a good day. So while things have settled down a bit, we'll quickly pull up the fastest lap chart, as we are currently on lap 18. Now that we have some speed under these trucks, it is Jack Merkel proving me right once more. The only truck to set at 124. In fact, he is nearly 1 second faster than the second fastest truck, that being Dakota Vega with a 125.09. I saw spin, but guess not. That was just tire smoke. Lyle currently running P2 on track. Currently third fastest, 125.2. As I say that, he moves up to second. Now, with clean air mostly, he puts up the second fastest lap with a 124.33. So he is able to match Merkel's pace. He just needs enough track and enough time to reel him back in. So while Lau got faster, Merkel has slowed down just a bit, only being 3/10 slower that lap. We are coming up at a halfway caution as Dakota Vega makes a move off for P3 on Armstrong. But he clips the grass out of turn 6 just enough to where Armstrong can easily pass him back. We are 3 laps away, well, coming to 2 to go for the halfway caution. Field has strung out, but Lyle still has a chance to grab the halfway bonus. As reeled in quite significantly after being trapped in traffic for a while, he once again puts up his personal best, but not improving by much, only by 6 thousandths of a second, now upgrading to a 24.329. But he still was 6/10 faster than Merkel that time by. Battle for P5, that being between Dalton Tubbs and Moonglow. Been riding their respective races pretty well. Moonglow has just been there, he exists. And Dalton Tubbs, just after his spin at the one restart, it just hasn't been able to keep pace with anyone else. And there's McIntyre dangerously close to the leader, spins out, but that did bring out a caution. So that will force the halfway caution to come out earlier than expected. And they allow SK2 much out of the truck. He goes around at turn 9. Zach Armstrong has closed up. I think Lyle is still safe to keep P2, but his chances to win the halfway bonus are over. Jack Merkel comes off turn 12 and will take the halfway bonus on lap 21 out of 42. Then Lyle will still come home P2 with Armstrong P3, Dakota Vega P4, McIntyre would be trapped one lap down. Meanwhile, there's still a battle for P5 here. Dalton Tubbs able to defend well, keep the pressure off him, and will bring the halfway home in P5 with Moonglow P6. Holy topsy turning! That was really great racing amongst the top 4 here. It just really makes up for the first 10 laps where we haven't been able to go green for more than a single lap. So next will be the Turkey timeline. Well, we're under this caution flag, and from what I saw in chat, it looks to be non-competitive pit stops, and it'll also be a field invert, as I forgot to mention. Most of these pertain to self-spins, but there was a caution on the opening lap which I missed because I fell out of the game. Lap 5, Dakota Vega spins out from the lead, prompting the second caution of the day. Got lap 8 on the restart. Dalton Tubbs staying out, trying to benefit with track position, ultimately smacks the wall off turn 2 and spins on doing all that progress. and making a big hindrance. Now smacking the wall. Okay, McIntyre spinning once more. He's been having trouble with this track quite frequently. He was pretty much a wrecking ball in the Trans Am race, and it's pretty much no different. And this was the reason for the caution. McIntyre spinning around turn 6 and doesn't get pointed in the correct direction immediately, having to throw in the reverse. And just behind him, the leaders are approaching, and I guess the game deemed it a caution because I don't see Robbie throwing the caution flags. It is actually up to the game to decide when to prompt a caution. And McIntyre being slow right next to the racing line on the apex. Just ultimately called caution because the game was programmed to. They allowed asking too much out of the truck through turn 9. Ended up spinning around but is able to defend P2. So now comes the field inverts, as the pace car is slated to go green this time. I don't know if everyone can catch up in time. So what was first became 6, and what was 6 became first. I don't believe the field invert applies to lap down cars, which is probably for the better. And when Moonglow just caught the pace car, not everyone has gathered back up, so I mentioned they'll hold up a bit longer. The last car in the queue just entering turns 9 and 10. I don't think they'll be able to go green. And oh, they are going green. Well, so that'll be a big challenge for Merkel and Landau on if they can reel in the pack once more. But we are green. Moonglow with the lead pulls away. Dalton Tubbs P2 as he blinks out. But Vega and Armstrong have time to pass them and save their tires. Moonglow slow off the corner. I don't know if he broke second gear or what, because he just pulled over and let everyone by. So Dalton Tubbs gets another chance to lead a lap. Oh, nearly spins off turn 6, grabbed the curb just a bit wrong. But Jacoby able to react and give him enough space to correct the truck. And so far the 6 car has kept the lead. Well, still very sideways. I don't think he's properly learned how to take note of what the truck likes and doesn't like. So, and just like that, he overshoots turn 12. Gonna be side by side towards the line. And it is Dalton Tubbs who leads that lap. Dakota Vegas slots back in line to get a better apex through turns 1 and 2. Dalton Tubbs, big mistake on the restart once before, but this time he's able to negotiate turns 1 and 2 pretty well, almost perfectly. Preventing Dakota Vega from generating enough of a run. And yeah, just Mengele really off the pace. And I guess and then He would upshift immediately if second gear were broken like I initially thought, but I guess he would I guess in general he's just slow in the gears, but here comes Dakota Vega for a lead, but just in time for Dalton Tubbs to blink out for a second. And Vega did the right thing and just let him go, let it go, let him reappear, try again later. Working lap 24, Armstrong waiting in the wings. But Landon Island has caught up to the top 3 here. Meanwhile, Merkel is still a ways back, hasn't passed Moonglow yet. Approaching lap 25, Dalton Tubbs, after grabbing the lead from the restart from Moonglow's sole exit at turn 3, hasn't surrendered. But he slips up enough for Dakota and looks to the inside. Does Dalton Tubbs have enough momentum to carry the exit speed? He barely does. He's still got his nose underneath. Gonna have the advantage into turns 4 and 5. But I've seen Dakota Vega be able to power through turn 5 pretty well and get enough momentum to turn 6. And once again, he makes the outside work, able to clear for the lead. Sark Armstrong now gonna have to negotiate with the 6 car to let him through. Just a rapid Landon Lyle has joined the fray. Merkel has gotten clear of Moonglow, so now he's back into the top 5. Still got math. 18 laps, coming to 17 to go to claw his way back to the lead. But here comes Landon Lyle to the inside of Armstrong. Think he has enough momentum, gonna lightly bash the 09, no harm, no foul. Side by side at the line, credited Landon Lyle with P3, and he's going to clear Zach Armstrong. Now up to the third podium positions as Zach Armstrong really sideways, but here comes Landon Lyle's 3-wide move into turn 3. Gonna be a punt from Dalton Tubbs into the Dakota Vega. Landon Lyle will sneak through with the lead, but that did in fact prompt a caution. Armstrong will move up to P3 and Merkel insights of taking that place away. Gonna be raced back to the line. Armstrong will wide off turn 6. Merkel has the run. Gonna look to the inside into turn 8. And Armstrong's actually spun from that. I didn't see any contact. He must have gone too wide and clipped the grass enough to spin him around. But Landon Lyle with a comfortable lead into turn 12. He's going to win the race back with Dalton Tubbs after restarting P2 after the field invert will keep P2 and net gain of 0, with Jack Merkel, despite not being able to catch up to the queue on time, makes up to P3. Vega caused a caution for P4, Armstrong P5, Moonglow P6, and McIntyre P7. So we'll see what happened with the 2 leaders, that being Dakota Vega and Dalton Tubbs. And Dakota Vega carried too much speed out of turn 2, allowing Dalton Tubbs to catch up, but Dalton had been trying to set him up at the outside, but Landon Lyle beat him to the punch, seeing to open the gap and take it. He decided to take it middle 3. Go on board with Landon Lyle as he makes this beautiful overtake for the lead. And just beside him, you may have heard a bit about going around meaning Lando got cleared for the lead. On board with Dalton Tubbs next. And I don't really blame Dalton at all, just that he got caught up in just poor timing, really. He sees that the 51 lost momentum. You're able to carry enough momentum to look to the outside. You're gonna try to maximize the corner, but then he neglected to realize that the 99 also got momentum and is in fact faster than him. So 99 Landau able to take the advantage of looking through the middle, and Dalton Tubbs trying to cross over. He's desperate to get back into the lead. Ultimately pushes the 51 a bit too hard. Mid-corner bump draft, and around is the 51. Pit stops occur. Everyone pissed this lap. Gonna be tying up pit lane, and Dalton Tubbs actually won a pit road by just a splitter over Lane. Then it is Merkel to go Vega who gets a black flag. Zach Armstrong and McIntyre and Ziggy Munglo. As an up and down day Dalton Tubbs has had throughout this race, this could be his best shot to win. So he catches the pace truck, working through lap 28. It is going to be 14 laps remain. 14 laps for Dalton Tubbs to fend off this race's two greatest racers in terms of lap times, as we'll take a quick gander at that. Jack Merkel actually improves to a 23.923, with Lando still second. Not changing, no change in lap time. Dakota Vega, third place, 125.0. Dalton Tubbs, fifth fastest, only capping a personal best of a 126.0. Will he win this race? Probably not, but it's worth a try. Waiting for the green flag. There it is. 14 laps left for Dalton Tubbs, but Lando and Merkel right behind him. And both of them actually go up into the guardrail. Now Dalton Tubbs, clean track, nothing to worry about from the mirror into turn 3. Everyone clean so far. And landed down, trying to make a move, and there he goes into the inside, turn 6 on the 6 truck. Gonna power through to the lead. And here comes Merkel for the same move into turn 8, unable to get completely side by side with him, forced to surrender. And even if Dalton isn't really up to speed, it's really a question about if Merkel can get back quick enough to where he doesn't lose too much time to land Lau. As Lau puts on a big smoke show down at turn 12 as he regains the lead, currently lap 30. Merkel looks to the outside, able to outbrake him. But Dalton powers through, but Merkel responds with a crossover. Right on board with Dakota Vega just slamming behind him. Yeah, Merkel's remaining side by side. He's gonna get the preferred line into turn 6 as Lanalao locks up just ahead. But Dalton's gonna try a crossover. He actually gets his nose peaked, but gonna have to back off due to his warping. Tubbs trying anything he can to keep up with these two. Unable to do so, but now he's gonna still has a chance to defend Dakota Vega for the final podium places. Got 12 laps remaining, currently laps 31 out of 42. It is Lanalao who has taken the lead away from Dalton Tubbs. And speaking of Dalton Tubbs, he smacks the turn 2 guardrail and almost spins out, but is able to correct it. He's able to learn from his mistakes. And that is unintentional retaliation as Dalton Tubbs warps and gets clipped by the 51. Make sure that wasn't intentional, just really poor timing. I don't know if that prompted a yellow or not. I don't think it did, but shall see. It did not, so we're still green. But Dalton Tubbs had his highs. He actually set his personal best that last lap of a 125.8. But it was ultimately all for naught. He won't even get a shot at the podium. Really sucks for him, but that's just racing. Merkel has caught back up to Lanalao 10 or 11 more laps, sorry, to settle this deal. Merkel looks outside. Lau defending on the bottom into turn 3. Yeah, Merkel has the momentum on the outside of it carrying the exit speed. Gonna try to stay side by side, unable to do so as Lanalao takes a different approach. Merkel forced to slide in behind. Take a look further back, nothing really of note. Well, Lau under enormous pressure. You got Jack Merkel, who has been the truck to beat. He's still posted, still on the top of the fastest lap charts. Fastest in practice, while on pole board. And now he wants to seal the deal. It may not be a perfect weekend, but he'll be able to complete the sweep. The slip up from Lau, allowing Merkel to the inside, but yes, it's a bit interesting. Who gives up? Neither of them. Neither of them, and both of them kept it straight. I'm pretty surprised. But Merkel with the preferred line into turn 3 and Lanalao forced to give up the position. Armstrong being comfy in P3. Dakota Vega comfy P4. Dalton Tubbs made his way back up to the top 5. Seeing Munglo P6 and Mike McIntyre is just there. He exists. Judging from how we've had cautions triggered by the game. It's safe to assume that I don't think there is a point of no return. The races can end under the caution, so if you're laying allowed, you want to be able to get by him, Jack Merkel, within, I'm gonna say 4 to go, and be able to stay in the lead in time for the race to end early. But laying allowed currently having trouble keeping pace, that being Merkel being 4/10 faster that time by. Excuse me. Lau looks inside but unable to get side by side. She's gonna be stuck on these two for the remainder of the race. As well, Dalton Tubbs has made his way back up to Dakota Vega. Hopefully nothing happens between those two while I'm looking at the leaders right now. As well, yes, Dakota Vega did get back on Dalton Tubbs. It was mostly unintentional, just that Tubbs worked out and just chopped up the 51 without realizing. And let allow once again asking too much out of the truck from P2, but is able to barely keep it on the road. But now he's got up to a second to make up on Jack Merkel. $124.0 for Merkel versus a $124.6 from Lyle. So Lyle is definitely slipping up. It may honestly be just because he is using up the rear so much, trying to power out the corner. Now he's paying the price for it. And wearing out your rears is especially more prevalent when it is at a low gear, where if you were to go one gear higher, therefore low RPM, you could save more tires that way. See what these two are up to? That being Dalton Tubbs in the 6 trying to overtake Dakota Vega for a P4. Not very close enough, and neither are these two. Merkel actually slowed up. He set 125.1 that time, with Lana Lyle gaining 4/10 that time, that being a 124.7. Currently lap 36, 7 laps to go. This race will be late to Budweiser, so when I've been informed the top 2 will not be available for post-race interview regardless, so whether they have something to do or whether because that they're also wanting to do Budweiser and they're going to run late, or they have something else planned, I have no idea. It's fine though. There have been times where I haven't gotten anyone to interview. Lana Lau, of course, gets it back on the road, just also slightly losing time to the 50. We're actually going to stay with these two. Dalton Tubbs has caught up to Tagovea in striking distance to overtake. Dalton Tubbs able to make a move on the inside, not clear just yet. Get a little sideways off exit. Dakota Vega will defend P4 for the time being. It's 6 laps left now. Dalton just has to set him up right. Man, if these two are able to keep it clean with each other, I suppose they'll forgive each other for whatever happened when they tangled for the lead, and Lanelao was able to pounce on both of them. Oh, Dalton really deep into turn 6, good punts the 51 out of the way. The 51 will remain on course, but Dalton feels bad and is actually going to give up the place. He wants to race him cleanly. He already punted him once before. So if he wants to make a move on Dakota Vega, he'd rather do it cleanly. Marco has checked out. Lanelao losing 1.2 seconds that time. Man. And Lanelao just really fell off a cliff as the leader has taken 5 laps to go. But for the time being, this is the only battle worth mentioning. And Dakota Vega did not appreciate the bump Dalton Tubbs gave into turn 6. Tubbs is already on his second strike, essentially, that being given by Dakota Vega. It's just very easy to piss off the 51 truck, no matter what league you're in. Dalton Tubbs lunges into turn 6, thankfully out. 51's already out of the way, playing defense this time. We're trying to make a run, but not close enough. Okay, a review cam from the 51, trying to see how Dalton Tubbs tries to make the overtake. Into turn 12, that this being Dalton Tubbs able to hold a tire line, but just wheel spins off the car too much where he loses all the momentum he can carry and just gives up time. And this is 1 car length at best. Dalton Tubbs good line into turns 1 and 2. Okay. And close enough for turn 3. And if these two were actually catching Zach Armstrong, something happened, or is he wanting a battle? I believe he slowed up just to let them go, that have something on the line here. That Lyle spun out for a second. With 3 laps left, Zach Armstrong gives up P3 and is now behind Vega and Tubbs. So that promotes Dakota Vega up to the podium place as well. Dalton Tubbs, I thought his chances were rid a little while ago, but now he has one final chance. And I actually mean it this time because they are taking 3 laps to go now. And he hopes for this to be clean. Zach Armstrong is waiting in the wings. Okay, 3 laps left. Dalton Tubbs, brave move into turn 1, able to clear Dakota Vega. And will get into the podium places. Not much of an update on the leaders. They have neutralized, but it is currently a pretty big gap. I don't know why Laos marked P5 on our timing board, but actually, let me try something. Okay, I don't think this is correct. Can I just refresh this? So if it's still broken, then I don't know. Marco takes 2 laps to go. Still a sizable gap between him and Lando Lau. Zach Armstrong really off the pace. He must have broken a gear. Just his truck is not healthy, but as I want to play Car Doctor, I want to also watch the battle for P3. These two had to just take it to the goal leader way up the road. And Lando Lau is also not in reach. In turn 3, don't tell blinking, don't to go Vega have to surrender, but he looks for the crossover. Gonna look to the left hand side. Dalton Tubbs has the advantage. And Tubbs is gonna clear him before they get there. They got side by side. And Vega not able to carry the momentum. And Dalton Tubbs able to defend P3 pretty well so far. Meanwhile, just crossing the start finish line now. Or is the race over? They just stopped. Oh, so race ended early. 1 lap behind schedule, so this is actually the final lap now. And Jack Merkel easily wins with Pete Garzel, so there might be a caution as to why, but Dalton Tubbs able to defend valiantly for P3 to go Vega with the stealth P4 Zach Armstrong with an ill-handling truck at P5. It'll be Ziggy Moonglow for P6 and Matt McIntyre at P7. Nothing really much update for the best lap chart, and yeah, both of them are gone, so I think I know why, and I think I should as well, so I'm gonna quickly, hopefully, get into the Budweiser server before things go awry. And see here. Oh, they're at qualifying. That's perfect. All right. So, really great race from 150 from Bluegrass. And Lando Lau able to pull away in the point standings, but I had to immediately turn my attention to Budweiser, who is at Talladega. That stream is already set up. I shall meet y'all over there.